Hey everyone, welcome to another Good e-reader comparison video. My name is Michael.
And this is Peter.
Today we have the Sony DPT-RP1 versus the 9.7-inch Apple iPad Pro. This is not a video of which unit is better. We're focusing on the note-taking experience, and we're using the stylus that comes with the Sony, and we're using the pen that you have to purchase as an optional accessory.
So first off, you might notice, oh, it looks a little bit different. That's because we're dealing with a screen that has no backlight and a screen that produces its own different degree of light. So the white balance is never going to balance out between the two of them. So the iPad here is utilizing this is the Apple Pen. You'll see here that it does say Apple Pen. You have the cap that goes over the lightning connector.
And that lightning connector is important because in order to sync, in order to basically pair the pen to the iPad via Bluetooth, you actually have to plug that into the lightning port connector in order to pair it.
Yeah. You have a nib here. It also has degrees of sensitivity, and everything's in this very nice ivory white, which most Apple products come in. Then the Sony is a little bit more complex. You have lithium-ion battery inside with a charging port on the back. You have a magnetic snap that snaps to the side of the e-reader like so. You also have two buttons. You have the erase button and you have the highlight button. You can press and hold each one respectively. You also have a more of a graphite tip. You are also included some plastic tips in the box, but this is the graphite one, and it's a removable tip with a little clasp thingy you get in the package.
Yeah, so the cool thing about Sony is that the nibs are interchangeable,
yeah,
and they're not the same kind. You can buy different types of nibs depending on what you're basically doing with your e-reader, and
right,
changing the nibs is pretty easy too. With the Apple stylus, there really isn't no replacement like nibs.
Yeah. So we're just gonna do some drawing. We're not gonna do anything crazy like.
Hey, the Apple Pen is magnetic.
There you go.
That's cool.
Sweet. We're not gonna do any color-oriented things, of course, because the Apple has color and this does not. So we're just gonna do some drawing. So we'll just start out with a kind of standardized pen size, and then we'll go from there. So we'll click blue center pen, and we'll just do some drawing here. You can rest your hand on the screen on the DPT. You can also rest your hand on the Apple as well. So I just wrote Peter Good e-reader in my beautiful handwriting.
And I wrote Michael as King.
So we'll try
because I have a high opinion of myself.
We'll try doing some erases. All you need to do on the Sony to erase is press and hold the erase button. You can then go over everything and it'll erase everything as such.
Apple doesn't work like that. It doesn't have an eraser at the bottom. The Apple Pen is reliant on the apps that you use. Some apps are designed to be compatible with the Apple Pen, which gives you a lot of flexibility. Other apps allow you to use the Apple Pen, but they don't really allow you to, say, edit PDFs, make highlights and annotations. So this is Adobe Sketchbook, and so its power is dependent on what you're actually using. So you could have a lighter eraser that just kind of you know what I mean? I'm not fully erasing it, but you could actually turn it up to be able to do it a little bit more. So it has powers to be able to change the size of the eraser and how much it actually erases. So you can adjust the opacity of the eraser button. So you could do just a and it's gone, or you could do kind of a light erase, and that way it's kind of cool because if you do sort of these kind of charcoal effects and stuff like that, and then you're erasing, you can kind of you know what I mean? Sort of blend it into the background. So it actually could assist in drawing, doing foreground, background type of stuff.
Exactly. Let's do some pen sensitivities now. So I'm going to go back to the pen, and I'm going to choose the largest one because it's going to be the easiest to see. And I'm just going to do some lines. So on the DPT, whether I write lightly or press down really hard, I get the same sized line. Whereas on the Apple device with the pen, if Michael presses down harder, you actually get a thicker line in the end. and if he writes thinly, you get almost hairline kind of things. But I have to select the pen size in order to do that. So
now, one thing I'm noticing is that latency wise, let's try to like see what we can do in terms of like when we both draw at the same time, what happens.
All right.
It's pretty well like about the same.
Yeah, I'd say so. The DPT is amazing because e-ink screens are typically slower than other screens, but to have something that very quickly responds to your writing, I mean that's really quick for an e-ink screen. It doesn't refresh, it doesn't lag, it doesn't stain, no ghosting, nothing like that. It's actually quite nice.
One of the advantages of the Sony is that it is e-ink, and you did notice the blue and red there.
Yes, so what this is, it's not actually blue and red ink because it is black and white. So if you were to write in blue under the blue ink, like so, oh, I almost wrote it the French way, or if you choose
Le cordon bleu.
Or if you choose the red version, when you actually export this or take a screenshot of this PDF, this one, me writing in the red ink, will be red, and this one will be blue. So if you're a teacher and you want to write some X's, they'll be in red, or you can do all the check marks in blue, or sign your name in blue. It will be that color accordingly when you save this to your PC.
So, with the DPT, you can change pages,
yes.
Right? So you can actually create like page 2, page 3
by just swiping.
Yeah, by just swiping,
yeah.
And that's like super intuitive. The way that this sketchbook app works is that it works in layers, so it's kind of like Photoshop in the way that you can do like multi-layer type things. So when you are say with this layer, I'm already erased everything I can do, so I have to click on this layer to do like any erasing. But that way you could just do like different types of like layer type of like design stuff, and it's just clicking like on layers and stuff like that. You can like blend like text, you can import pictures and stuff into there. So the advantage of the iPad is that it's more of like a multimedia type of toolkit with like the Apple Pen. The disadvantage is that both of these pens need to be charged.
Yes.
They don't draw power like from the unit, so you do need to like charge it via the lightning cable, and you do need to charge it via like the USB.
Yeah, so the first generation pen actually didn't utilize any batteries, which was quite an amazing piece of technology. But now that we have highlights, no latency, I mean, it's basically that you do need to charge this up because there's just so much more tech involved in it.
Right, so if you're wondering what is better, it's all a matter of what you're using it for. You can use the DPT and draw and take notes for about 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
If you're just taking notes and things like that. With the iPad, it's constantly drawing power. So you're lucky if you can get maybe like 10 to 12 hours out of it before you start to like, you know, charge it, because it's like it's a backlit,
right.
So there's power constantly being drawn. The only way you can kind of get around that is if you start like dimming the screen and have like auto dim and stuff like that. But in terms of taking notes, this is like just been like a rudimentary comparison of what you can do. I like the DPT because you can use it outdoors, you can use it in the sun. It's light as hell in compared to like the iPad 9.7 Pro, and you can see that you have like a bigger screen. If we had the iPad 12.9 or like the 10-inch one, it would be a little bit bigger, so it'd be like a good size comparison, but it would also be heavier.
Yeah.
So this is lightweight. It's the drawing of it is solid. You can export the notes. I've noticed with Apple, we tried like 5 or 6 different PDF readers just to import a PDF document to like view and edit, and everyone required like microtransactions or to subscribe like on a $5 like, you know, per month basis in order to view and edit PDFs. There was hardly any of them out of the box that worked with the Apple Pencil that didn't try to like get you to spend more money either as a one-time fee or as a subscribing fee. So the Apple Pencil's solid if you just have an iPad, but I would recommend the DPT-RP1 because it's designed to take notes.
Absolutely.
And not only can you take notes on here, but you could also draw and take notes on actual PDF files. The iPad kind of struggles with that because you're lucky enough to find an app that works, and when it does, you actually have to pay extra money on a monthly basis, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about this video. Drop a comment below for GettyReader.com and a review of the Apple Pencil versus the Sony Stylus DPT-RP1 versus the iPad Pro. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Everybody take care.